Hey guys, today I finally got it. This is my MAS katana. Yeah. Thing to note though, this Sageo is not the original Sageo that it came with. It originally came with a black chemical fiber Sageo, but I switched it out for this silk chemical. I'm sorry, this silk double colored Sageo from Sword Store, and yeah, MAS did an amazing job, making this sword. Um, though I am going to be very, very nitpicky because I did spend 2K on this sword. Some things that I immediately noted was that the saya, the koiguchi, and the kojiri, you can see, are made out of bullhorn. That's initially what I ordered. However, that was not my final order because I changed it to metal fittings, so that kind of is like in a handachi style. Yeah, I even talked with Stefan about it. He okayed it, but he still sent me the sword with buffalo horn, koiguchi, and kojiri. But that's fine. I honestly don't mind because it's still very, very nice. I did send them fuchi and kashira from Yamato Kodogu. I actually bought the fuchi kashira set a while ago from Yamato Kodogu, and I just saved it for an Nasa sword and figured it would look good on this sword. One other thing that I have a problem with is that the Samegawa is white. I ordered it in black. Yeah, I asked for a full wrap, but at this point in time, I can't check if it's a full wrap or not. Though I'm pretty sure they did put a full wrap. Also, the ito is just plain old cotton, but I'm pretty sure that they glued all the crossovers because these things won't budge and they feel very, very, very stiff and hard, and that's not characteristic of cotton at all. So I mean, I've worked with cotton, even if you pull it extremely, extremely tight, it does not feel like this. So I'm pretty sure that they glued it, unless I actually take it apart and be proved otherwise, then I'm just standing with that for now. However, the build is fantastic. I mean, this fittings, the ito and everything, like right here, this is a critical part in telling if you got a quality sword, because the actual tsuka and the fuchi on all sides, right here, it's all perfectly flush. They also flush together, so that's a good way of telling if you got a quality sword. Also on the end of the tsuka, it's all flush. So it's awesome, just awesome attention to detail and craftsmanship from the people at MAS. Let's see. Let's start with the rest of the blade first. Okay, there are two seppa. I believe they are antique silver. They may be white brass, I'm not sure, but it's not exactly what I ordered, but hey, I guess added bonus. And the Suba is carved yellow brass, and it's very, very nice in a bamboo theme. It's a bamboo themed Suba, though one thing is as extremely thin. It's about as thick as a seppa. And the seppa are actually pretty thick. The seppa are about 2 millimeters thick. About 2 to 3 is pretty thick, and the Suba is about the same. It's very, very thin, so I wasn't expecting that, but I guess since this is a competition geometry, and the blade is extremely thin, so I guess they need to lessen the weight on this side, and have the point of balance go up further for that kind of handling. Habaki is very nice. It's a double plated habaki, and very nice pattern on it. Though It's not made in the traditional Japanese manner, where the underlying part is one piece, and then the over top is another piece. It looks like they just got a plate of white brass and stuck it on top of the yellow brass habaki, which is fine. I mean, this is a Korean company after all, so I can't be expecting Japanese traditional workmanship, but this is awesome quality, all the same. And now moving on to the blade, it is L6, and I asked for hand polish, which they did a good job of. The actual G is kind of like a satin finish, actually. It's not really super shiny, but it is a good finish nonetheless. One other problem I have is, well, it's purely aesthetic, is the kisaki. It's cosmetically polished, and it's very, very long. I mean, the kisaki itself is very, very round. It may be because this blade is actually very wide, it being in competition geometry, though, I mean, I'm just not a fan of this kisaki. See the bohi, yeah, you can see it there. It does not have a komaru or turn back for the boshi, but that's fine. That's pretty much only for aesthetic reasons. They did a very good job with the hamon and the heat treat. Yeah, this blade is very thin. Like, that's the blade. This is my finger. Very, very thin. So this will cut well. One thing that I did notice is the actual blade. It does have a double bevel, and that's most likely because the blade is so thin. If it did have I guess a zero bevel or pure apple seed geometry, then the edge of the blade would be very, very prone to chipping and breaking and that sort of thing. So that's why they put a double bevel. So that's a good thing. The good thing to know, and it's a bit different than I'm used to on seeing for katana. Now looking at the saya, it is a perfect fit. There is no rattle when I put the sword in, nothing. One thing to note though is because this is a Korean company, they do not have the koiguchi in the traditional Japanese fashion, where they have really, really thin parts of wood sticking out, from underneath the actual koiguchi hole. Pretty much, this is just a piece of buffalo horn carved out in the shape of the habaki, and then they glued it on. So it's not in the traditional Japanese workmanship, I guess, but all the same, it's awesome, fit. They did on one side. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't see this, but on this top side right here, they actually took away too much from the buffalo horn, so it doesn't sit flush with the rest of the wood inside the saya, though the other side is sitting flush and it's perfect. Though that doesn't change the fact that there is a perfect friction fit with the saya and the habaki, and that's awesome job. Yeah, so my deepest gratitude to Stefan and all the people at MAS, though this may be one of the last MAS swords that they'll ever produce, because their company is temporarily halting retail. It seems like things aren't going well for them, so this may be one of the last MAS L6 katanas that they'll ever make. I'm just very glad that I hopped on the train, because they have very good, outstanding quality. The workmanship, the attention to detail, all that, it's just, that 10 stars. Like, seriously, I'm very happy with this purchase. Um, until I can actually take apart the sword, take out the tsuka and inspect all the fittings, then I'll just say that 10 stars for the workmanship from people at MAS. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.